We are back. Back in the country, back on YouTube, back on Rumble. Ready to rumble.
Whoa.
It's funny because I just watched Rocky the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Wow, you're ready to rumble.
I'm ready to rumble.
Rumble in the, what is it? Rumble in the jungle? No.
Oh my goodness. Let me go over to Rumble real quick.
Okay.
Well, meanwhile, I'm going to show you. So Terri said last night, she said, tomorrow. It made me think about this. The brain.
Yeah.
And so Pinky always says, they always say, what are we going to do tomorrow? So on this one, it says the same thing we do every day, Pinky. Stay home and flatten the curve. But maybe we'll flatten the learning curve. Because I know what that one was about, but
yeah,
that one was the other curve. But maybe today we'll flatten the learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Anne-Marie. Hey, I am back. And I got my nice necklace on.
Ooh, that's a very beautiful necklace.
Me and my friend, we exchanged
what do
necklaces.
You usually wear, Erica?
Huh?
I said it's a little bit different than you usually wear. This one is made with wood, isn't it?
Yeah, this one's all wood. So I made an exchange with my friend in the UK. I made one with orgonite and beads, and it amazingly matched this one. Hey, wow. Allie's here.
Hi, Allie.
But honestly, last night, Terri asked me, she said, what are we going to talk about tomorrow? And I said, being funny, tomorrow has enough worries of its own. Mm-hmm. What did that make you think about, Terri?
It makes me think about that we need to live in the present.
It's true.
And we can worry about all those things that are going to pop up. And meanwhile, it's never what we're wasting energy when we're worrying about those things.
I know. I spend a lot of energy sometimes thinking about not worry, but trying to figure certain things out. Mm-hmm. And some things only time can reveal. You know what I mean? Certain situations. Because there's the shoulda, woulda, coulda, but then there's worrying about bad things happening. But I think I've gotten beyond worrying about the nightmares that could pop up. But now it's always trying to problem solve and figure our things out. And some things can only be, the answer can only come with time.
Yeah, sometimes things are revealed. Yeah. Things come up, and we have to release them before the solution can come up.
Let go of the outcome.
Yeah. Or it's come to a culmination. Whatever the solution is has to be, if we let it go, then the solution will be more palpable, maybe. True. Right? Because we're worried about the outcome, and then we can create a difficult outcome. But if we just let it go, the universe, we're letting the possibilities to the highest outcome come out. But as soon as we start to think about it, we're now anchoring it into a thought process, and so we're not allowing it to have its own natural way of resolution.
We end up limiting the solutions because we want one solution, like, oh, I'm gonna, say grant money or something. I'm just gonna use this random, like, oh, you're waiting for this particular grant to come through, or a refund of some sort, or something like that. I'm using financial issues, or even for a person to pay you back in some way. But your blessings can come from that. We're limiting the possibilities of where the blessing can come from, and we're not necessarily open to the solutions.
Yeah,
so definitely, loosening up so that we can allow source to bring us answers from all different directions, because what happens, our vision becomes narrow, right? It reminds me too of that man that was on the boat, right? And he was like, oh God, save me from flood. And it's like all these other solutions, but he's like, he just has this one way that he thinks that the problem is going to be fixed. Like you probably want God to just pick you up out the boat, right? So you could be like, ah. It's like, no, I sent you a boat, I sent you a helicopter, I sent you, but it was like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. That could be true even with love too, right? Because love can come in some different form that you think it's supposed to look and feel like this, but it really is. And so we're like, no, that's not the solution I'm looking for. We end up blocking the solution to whatever. But I'm happy to be home. I think I had some times during my trip where I was having to just open up and embrace solutions from different areas. I definitely lost my bag on the trip and I had to take a 0.8 mile hike up and a 0.8 mile hike back to find my bag. And on the way down, I was thinking, oh my God, I'm wasting everybody's time. I'm so worried that everybody's going to be mad. And instead, everybody's down at the bottom, like praying for me. And we were hoping that you were going to be okay. And I'm like, oh my God, I just received this huge, like to me, it was a waste of time. But evidently, I learned this huge lesson and I got this huge blast of love at the end of my trek back down, where people were just telling me what they were praying for and how they thought, even if I came down angry, they were just going to absorb it and be there for me and hold space for me. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know, that you guys could be so patient and loving with me. And I was really blown away. And I found my bag as soon as I got back downstairs or down the little hike or whatever. So it was lessons.
Yeah. And you know what? And it's funny. Sometimes we think it's about us, but meanwhile, it's how we affect other people. Like you said, they were praying for you and they were going to absorb your energy. So you became the conduit for a healing for them. For you, it's a frustration, but for them, it was a whole learning experience. And it was an opportunity for them to give of themselves when they saw someone else in distress. And so it was, frustrating for you because you ended up coming and finding it. It's like, duh, how did I not see it? But it also gave them a whole opportunity to reflect and how would they feel over it and all that.
That's it. A lot of them were thinking, oh my God, how would I react or how would I respond? But even saying like, oh, we were proud of your response, because sometimes it is easy to give that advice about letting things go and allowing things. It's easy to give that as advice, but it's hard to actually follow through and do that for yourself. So then people were actually inspired by that as well. So it was just interesting. Many lessons and solutions and that went on, and not what we thought, right? Not with the fairies, not with Merlin, but with ourselves.
Yeah, well, we hold the magic. We're the most magical beings.
Right.
We want to give our power away to other beings, but we're the most magical. We hold the most power.
Great to see you, ladies. Anne Marie, Allie, Gladys, Deborah.
Hi, ladies.
I know Jax, I'll say it to you for the future because I'm sure Jax is working and Carrie are working, and Dom will catch up because he'll be like, darn it, I missed it. JB, Light, Jonathan, thank you so much. I've been seeing a lot of your posts and you're going to the galleries and things like that. It's really cool, you all. It's really cool to be here with you all. And man, I was thinking, darn, if I could have took my other homies with me on this trip, this would have been a mind blowing. I mean, we would have had so much fun. That Nectar's Glen, going to be in a waterfall. What do you call that when you go below ground for a waterfall? It's called something.
Oh, I don't know.
Like in Mexico, they have them. You have to go down into the crevice to go inside the waterfall. That thing was mind blowing.
Like a cenote? Huh? In Mexico, like a cenote in Mexico?
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
I don't know the word. I know it begins with a C, but it's like Oh, I let everyone in the group go forward and I just burst into tears because I love moss and maybe it's a grotto.
Oh, grotto. Yeah, okay.
Lichen and all that stuff. And I got I think it's a grotto. That's where it was like
Thanks,
this grotto.
Sally.
And so you're looking up and all you're seeing is rocks and moss and all these different forms of vines. And I was able to, as the water was rushing down, so we're walking down this path and the water's rushing down, there was this tree on the path of the water where you could sit in the branches. And so I was like, I'm going to get in here and take this picture. And I went in there and I took the picture, and then getting out, I slipped on this rock and I was like, ah, and I had to like grab a hold. And but it was my dream, like to be sitting in there and be able to just sit in there and like, what if I could just sit in here and read a book while the water was rushing and stuff. Like, I wish I really had more time. And I definitely go back to St. Nectan's Glen, and I definitely want my homies to go. They will cook, and you got a refrigerator, stove, like a full kitchen. So you could, just live in the area of the waterfall and go down anytime you wanted. And they have a nature trail with some artwork and stuff like that. And I'll share pictures another time. But yeah, it was amazing. Some of the spots that we were in. Yeah. Even the farmhouse we stayed in, I was like, I'm going to pretend that I'm rich today. Like this 7-bedroom farmhouse. It was just amazing. But yeah.
Was that with the narrow stairs? The narrow steps?
No. She had a nice staircase.
No, okay.
That was a nice staircase. One of the staircases wasn't so. I tell you, you gotta learn to pack light, and that carry-on bag needs to be your luggage when you're in Europe because of the steps. Because I was like, if I'd come back and I haven't lost weight or something hasn't changed, I mean, I don't know, I'm gonna be a little bit upset. So, but over there, it's just really different. The amount of steps and walking and cobblestones and all this stuff and country roads we were going down on the wrong side of the road. And then, I don't know how people know two-way traffic, and you're like, okay, let me get inside these bushes so this car can pass. And I was like, whoa, that alone was life-changing for me. So anyway.
You're harder to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
my brain was having a hard time processing, and I've driven on the Autobahn, and I was like, but it's nothing compared to driving in the UK. No, different.
Very different. Yeah.
Very different. Mm-hmm. But enough about me. You had some sassy cards.
I had some sassy cards this morning, and it's like, oh, okay. I almost wanted to put them back, but I thought, no, there's a message in here, and they started to tell me that this is a reading is about what we can expect in the near future. And the first card that came up was your 7th chakra, an Archangel
Hold on,
Uriel.
Terry. Hold on. Let me I don't know what happened to the little program here, but let me see. Open the screen, and then I'm going to go to the card that you're talking about. And yeah, I don't know what happened. I was on that screen, but I think maybe I shared something else. Window. There we go. So now, here we go.
Yeah. So that was the first card. So is the 7th chakra, which is the crown, which is opening up to the divine. That's just how I'm seeing this today. Is that that higher knowledge, that higher understanding. And, the second card was deceit. So this was like, oh, okay. I believe this, my knowledge, my understanding here is that there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be revealed over the next while. And the deceit from all kinds of, let's just say, agencies. that and how they pulled the wool over our eyes, just everything that's happened, we are going to become aware of the deceit that's been perpetrated on us all. And so then the next one is the anxiety card. So with the anxiety, it's like, I think a lot of people are going to feel anxious and upset about the deceit that's been happening. And it's people are going to overreact to everything. And I think it's important for us to go back to this whole seventh chakra, opening up from the crown and letting the information flow from the universe, because we will get a higher understanding. And I asked the cards for another, like a sort of a clarifier, and that's where the angel of balance came in. So I'm thinking that with all of this information, everything that's going to come forward over the next while, it's going to cause a lot of people to be anxious. But I think if you are able to realize that there's a balance, there's a clearing that's happening, just know that the divine is helping us to find that balance and not to go into that fear or anger or anxiety because of the deceit that's been happening. For us to just find a balance in how we're going to react to this information that's going to come forward. So I don't think that this is a bad thing. I think it's just us being aware that, these things that have been going on are going to start to surface, and many of us know about them, but there's going to be people around us who don't. So I think it's important for us to remain centered and in balance so that we can help others understand what's been happening. You're muted, Erica.
Jonathan said Saturn retrograde. Mm-hmm. This is also leading me to think, even always as above, so below, inside, outside, because as we continue to look at external factors,
it's happening within and in our environment as well.
We must look at our internal deceits, because we lie to ourselves sometimes about our intentions and our motives. Mm-hmm. And I call it having itching ears sometimes when we want a particular outcome or a particular narrative, and it's easy to attach to what is superficial because that's just what we want to hear. Like if Terry were to say, Erica, you're so great. And I'm like, yeah, I am great. And I just want to be great. And I'm great, 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 great. But it's like Erica knows what Erica needs to work on. And you can continue to attach to these outside, the easy, the itching ears, the things that you want to hear, when you can know there's things that you yourself need to work on. And you need to actually be aware of your own motives at sometimes. And find balance in that, not bombarding yourself and beating yourself or talking down to yourself, but being clear, like you said, being honest with yourself and finding balance with yourself. And definitely continuing to detach from certain ideas just because it's, how do you say, beneficial or to your
ego.
There you go. That's what I would say. So always with the outside lessons, there's something for you inside that, this journey, I think too, I was talking to someone the other day and it was about, the idea that you have arrived. And have you ever truly, truly arrived? This is a continual motion back and forth of change, of emotions, of feelings, of our well-being, that we are consistently working on it, because we gain attachments, right? Like we're always having to cleanse and clear and make sure this is me, my thoughts, my feelings. This is the actual, and then what is me, right? Who am I? What am I?
I'm going to share. Yesterday, I did a session with somebody. Took a journey. I took her through a journey through to her Akashic records, and it was very challenging because she's done so much. She's done a lot of work, but when I connected with her energies are saying she's got so many old programs running, and it's like having a dryer full of socks that don't have a pair. You've got information, but it's no longer relevant. So it was interesting because she couldn't open up to new information until she let go of the old programming. And so we had to go through and like she had to release all of that. But it was really interesting because I think how many of us still have old programs and we want to embrace new, and like but those old programs are maybe those are the ones that are deceiving us. Those are the things that are causing us anxiety, and maybe we have to just sort of sit with ourselves and say it's time to let go of some of these old beliefs because they don't hold water anymore, and because of that, they're causing us a lot of anxiety around us. So like sitting with ourselves and saying, asking our intuition, connecting with it, and just saying, what is it that I'm ready to let go of? Maybe it is a belief in a certain deity. Maybe it is a belief in a certain political party, or a belief in one of your coworkers or something. But there's old patterns that we have to let go of. That a lot of times they're difficult for us, but they're not taking us anywhere, and they're holding us from moving forward.
A life examined, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's, and that's just it. So much that we've been programmed with to be examined. It's a long journey. It's a long ride.
Mm-hmm. It is. Yeah.
And I am complete. I don't know if you are complete.
I'm complete. Gladys just says, I always say it's easy to lie to others, but difficult to lie to oneself. Balancing the anger and rage within. Most of all, letting go of what stops my growth. Exactly. It's time to let go of old patterns and old programs. Allie's going through that thick of that right now. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're all feeling that. We're all feeling it. And I think maybe this is why these cards showed up. It's for us to go through and like let go of some of these old things. They've deceived us, and the programs have deceived us, and it's causing us anxiety. So let it go.
We're flattening the curve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Let's not be anxious about it. Well, we will see you in the group chat.
It's lovely seeing and connecting with you all, and stay safe and enjoy. Oh, you have 4th of July coming up, so enjoy your forthcoming holiday.
Yeah. Hot dogs inside. It's going to be enough. It's funny here. It always rains during 4th of July. So it's this shooting fireworks and then all this heavy air with all this smoke. It's the strangest thing, 4th of July.
Oh,
I don't know why. I can't remember a 4th of July where it was bright and sunny and not raining. It's interesting. Yeah. But we bid you adieu.
We'll see you.
Go ahead, Terri.
I said, see you next week.
All right.